welcome to the second hour of the Light Lunch. And this is where we highlight girl bosses. And today I will be chatting to Sarah, the woman behind the Boma and the Plantation destinations right here in Gqeberha that cater to many prestigious events around the Bay, including weddings, including corporate functions and parties. The venues that add the desired aesthetic to your dream event. Sarah and her team have got you covered. Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, it's only a pleasure. It's only a pleasure. We're delighted to have you on our show, and thank you so much for making it. And so the Plantation and the Boma really give off Pinterest board vibes, let me just say. And it's something that we usually see on television or in Cape Town. You never really see it in PE. And thank you for exposing that type of environment where you can I can find this right here at home, hey? And which brings me to the question on our first question. What attracted you to the travel and tourism sector, seeing that you're genuinely passionate about the work that you do?
So I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. And you were saying we've got these amazing places in PE.
Yeah.
And we actually moved to PE on purpose, choosing this out of anywhere else in the world, seeing the beauty here.
Yes.
And located our venues in the most magical forest that you can even believe is possible.
Yeah.
And so we created these magical spaces attracting people from all over the world to come to little old PE, which isn't so little old anymore. It's actually a very attractive event destination. We are sitting here located right at the start of the garden route, or at the end, depending on which way you look at it.
You're coming from.
We've got an international airport.
Ooh.
Our prices are PE prices, which, believe me, when you're comparing it to Cape Town prices, is a little bit of a different scale.
Yeah.
And we also are surrounded by malaria-free game reserves.
Ooh.
So in terms of our location, Nelson Mandela Bay is the ideal place for people to celebrate together and then have a holiday afterwards.
Yes.
So this obviously lends it very well for weddings. And in terms of events, we've got just the most colourful, vibrant, unique culture and heritage. We just all celebrated Heritage Day yesterday. And saw so many colourful celebrations going on.
Yeah.
And people from all over the world want to come and experience this.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm from PE. I'm from Gqeberha. And when I saw your destinations, I was like, okay, I have to go there. Because it's pretty unusual and it's different and it's unique. So, yeah, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. So what has been the most difficult experience of being a part of the team that, needs to ensure that both your award-winning businesses, let me highlight that, award-winning businesses stay afloat?
Oh, thanks for that. We never actually went out there to win awards.
Yeah.
That's almost like a byproduct of running a successful business. And what we always have wanted to do, besides spread positivity, because that's a huge goal of ours, tourism is driven by sentiment. And too often Nelson Mandela Bay residents like you and myself and our friends and on our social media timelines are very negative about our environment and very quick to criticize. But actually this whole industry relies on passion and positivity, and what a change we can make by highlighting the positives. And there's always positives, there's always negatives. We know we've got lots of challenges. But I'd love to go out there and inspire people to actually look for the good and share the good and be positive, because that actually can change lives. Yeah. And now I've gone so off your topic that I've forgotten your question.
So it was basically, what are the challenges within your sector?
So with any business, you spoke about the awards and the fact that we've won awards, and how have we continued in business, and our venues. We've actually got a third venue as well. Our business was established 18 years ago, so we've gone through ups and downs and pandemics and drought and economic disasters, as well as all the positive things. But really, when you're in a hospitality business, it's all about exceeding your customer expectations. Yeah. So we go out there and make sure with every single thing we do, whether it's just a small hour visit from someone to a whole week stay with us, to a huge event, to a small event, we get to understand what our customers expect and help set that expectation, and then make absolutely 100% sure that that's always met and almost always exceeded.
Nice.
And as soon as you're doing that, you're going to delight people.
Yeah. Automatically.
And then the awards come.
Which are a cherry on top. And speaking of awards, so the Boma has recently bagged the Tourism and Experiences Category Award in the Nelson Mandela Bay. And congrats once again. So tell me about that experience. How did it make you feel seeing your work, positively recognized?
Yeah, it's always quite humbling. To be, first of all, nominated for an award like this. The Nelson Mandela Bay Tourism Awards, it was the inaugural one. It had moved on from the Business Event Awards, which had been held previously. And even to be nominated, we were really, really flattered and happy and proud of ourselves, because often people see an event business as an event business. They don't see it as a tourism experience. And we have approached all our events like that. We curate an experience from when the people query, dream, think about doing something with us, to when they attend and have the time of their lives till when they leave. And this is what tourism is about. So the Boma offers cultural experiences. We call it our Taste of Africa Xhosa Cultural Experience, mainly for guests from cruise ships, so mainly international guests. And when they arrive here in Nelson Mandela Bay Harbour, they hop into a bus, which we arrange for them. They drive along the spectacular marine drive. They arrive in this magical forest, and they are greeted with our absolute colourful, fun and vibrant heritage. So from the outfits our staff wear to the music, the dancing, there's a whole food tasting experience where we educate the people about the different food influences that came into Nelson Mandela Bay and how that translates into what we eat. They get to play the music, they get to chat to the hosts, find out how we live, sing with us, they learn to click, and they leave in the best mood ever. A lot of people have said it's the best experience they've ever had in South Africa.
Listen, I want to go to the Boma now. But before we tap into the rest of our conversation with Sarah, here's a little musical breather. This is Zed and John Mayer with a song called Automatic Yes. It is a yes indeed from myself to the Boma. Just in time for the continuation of my conversation with Sarah, the brains behind the Boma and the Plantation right here in Gqeberha, which are exquisite destinations, perfect for tourism. And on to our next question, Sarah. So how has your involvement in the Boma and the Plantation, changed how you perceive the Eastern Cape tourism sector?
As I mentioned before, we've always been very passionate about the Eastern Cape, having chosen to live our lives here out of anywhere in the world. And when starting to run businesses here and starting to get to know the rest of the tourism industry and connecting with all these passionate people from this area, we have seen that in a relatively small town and small economic location, collectively we can make such a big difference. And it's such an opportunity to work together with other companies and other people in the same industry to grow not only our economy, but the economy of the whole Eastern Cape, and to grow our destination into an attractive destination, not only for local South Africans, but also from people elsewhere in Africa, and of course all over the world. And I think being in a part of a smaller town enables you to make a bigger impact, which is very, very inspirational. And I also love how instead of being competitive with our competitors, which of course, you have to be in business, to a point. Our industry really works together and puts our heads together, creating experiences, using each other's products, referring each other, and using our collective brains and resources to go out and attract people to our destination. And it's an extremely, extremely positive industry.
Oh, that is super insightful. And now on to our last question. So your website has a sweet message, as I was doing my research, from the Boma Township High School, highlighting the support that you've given them. So is giving back to the Nelson Mandela Bay community also a part of what makes you unique?
I think that that's just part of being part of a community.
Yeah.
And we're very strong advocates of our community,
Yes.
and of uplifting our community. And, the youth, that's where the future is going to come from. Tourism is a wonderful career for uplifting people. If you're able to host someone and look
Yes.
into someone's enjoyment, you can basically run your own business. You can get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
Small businesses can be empowered. So a lot of our effort goes into mentoring and bringing up youth and from communities that can
Yeah.
actually go and start their own businesses, and also
Oh.
spread the service ethos, because often we found Nelson Mandela Bay is possibly looked down a little bit on in terms of the customer service and the experience you can get here.
Yeah.
And that absolutely does not have to be the case. So we spoke earlier about exceeding customer expectations,
Yeah.
and teaching young people to be able to recognize, to be able to set these boundaries, set these expectations, and then delight their customers, gives us great joy in our hearts. So that's the type of upliftment that we really like to do, creating an ethos that then spreads into an environment, into a community, to grow the community for everybody.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was indeed an eye-opener of a conversation into the tourism sector right here in the Nelson Mandela Bay, and also great exposure into there are so many great things around our bay.
There are so many. I challenge each and every one of you listening
Yes.
to get out there and explore and enjoy and share it, because it makes a difference to everybody.
Indeed. That was Sarah, the brains behind the Boma and the Plantation. Listen, if your budget is budgeting this holiday season, go out and check it out. So please go and check it out, because I will. I know I will. Thank you so much, Sarah, once again for joining us
Thank
this
you for
afternoon. Yes, it has been a pleasure to have you here. And that's how we end up our conversation with Sarah. And if you do want to catch the latest update on this conversation, we do have a YouTube channel that you can check out. It will be out and the link will be provided. And on that note, as we conclude, this is Naked featuring Muni Long and Nile Rogers. The name of this song is The Moves.